Hello everybody, I am Tom and you are watching me play the Witcher 3 Hearts of Stone DLC. So there's a couple of side quests I want to knock out today, and then probably next week we're going to start the main story and probably just push through the main story all the way to the end. But side missions. First things first, a very quick one. We need to return the diagrams we got from the Fallen Knights to this merchant.
It is to see you again. Quite the pleasure.
I love the way they talk, it's fantastic. I found your diagrams.
Managed to recover all your diagrams.
Want to be relied on, this I knew. You restore the faith I might have in men, for I've now received aid from a stranger in even this land most barbarous.
Don't mention it, really.
As agreed, I shall draft your duplicates, though it may take a day. Be so kind as to return tomorrow. Your reward I will have for you.
All right. Tomorrow then.
Cool. Because Geralt be like that sometimes. We're just going to literally wait 24 hours. I'll probably actually wait slightly over 24 hours. I think I'll go to, like, the morning after, just so it's morning. There we go.
It is to see you again. Quite the pleasure.
The diagrams, they're duplicates. Ready?
In fact, yes. They are yours to take with my gratitude.
Thanks. Farewell to you.
So that gives you a full armor set and I believe 2 swords. It's a cool looking armor set, and actually a fairly good armor set as well, the Fury Scale armor. It's all medium armor, if I remember correctly, however. It'll be in crafting, chest armor. None of this is... No, it's the one I was wearing. Okay, yeah. It is light gear. This was the one I was wearing, which gives you the Quen sign intensity and stuff. So the one that I had for the majority of the playthrough, that's what I was wearing, it seems. Yeah, but it's quite nice armor, but for the most part, I like the cat armor, so I'm going to keep it. Hello. Horse. Weird. I wonder who owns you. You're just a horse who's sitting here. We read a note about the chapel here. Specifically, that they're having a ghost problem. It's all barred up. The Oxenfurt Courier of the Church of the Eternal Fire hereby grants a dispensation from the duty of conducting worship in the Chapel of the Eternal Fire to the residents of the following villages: Grunwich, Erda, and Heddle. For reasons as yet unexplained, foul powers have overtaken these villages' holy sites, befouling the church's majesty and tainting its sacred ground, I should say. Until professional exorcists can be summoned, the above-listed settlements are advised against visiting the cemetery and an adjacent chapel. Father Wilhelmius Eyre, officer of the Oxenfurt Courier. Interesting there that they need to be, like, granted permission? Such that they, don't have to go to church. Also, my mouse has not fixed itself. Give me a sec. Alright, we're back. Okay, I can draw my swords now. I'm happy. I'm glad I noticed that before I went in there. Pastoral Diary of Father Gladefried and the Crypt Key. Journal is covered in blood, heavily damaged. Only last page can be made out. My wanderings for the fire's glory next took me to preach at Grunwich. The village curled round the lake, and lo and behold, what did the most holy flames illuminate for me there? A hive of hardened heathens, too lost in sin to lift a cursed finger to care for the hearth of the eternal fire. Filled with divine wrath, I asked them, "Why is your chapel in such sorry state? Why is your cemetery all covered in weeds?" Their response? "Ghosts. Curse fallen upon hallowed ground." They blame it on the alderman's wife, say she went mad from riches and eligible fragment, and ever since that tragedy, the chapel has lain in ruins, with no one daring to go near. So the task falls to me to guide these foolish lost sheep back to their righteous path, and away from the rubbish they believe. I intend to enter the chapel alone, armed only with a torch of the eternal fire to light my path, and see what lurks within. Well, can see how that happened for him. There's his there is his weapon of choice. Also, ghosts. So, we're going to put on some Spectre oil. I just turned the volume down for myself. Makes it slightly easier for me to hear. Or rather, hear myself talk is more to the point. Oh, hello. Wraiths. Ow. I think I may need... a trap down. They don't kill me with one Quen. By which I mean that one hit does not get rid of my Quen, which is actually saying something. Ow. Wow, they're doing like no damage, what the hell? Hello? That's nice. Managed to take them out. And here be the crypt that he had a key to. Arguably should take Cat, but I'm probably not going to. Whoop. Cursed Mother. Moondust, really useful here. It allows me to attack the Wraith, which helps. Also, I don't think she can split while the Moondust is on her, which is also very helpful. Killed her. Yeah, she usually splits into multiple different forms and heals, because I believe she's a Night Wraith, which have that ability. However, because I hit her with Moondust, she can't do it. Oh, Beliefs of Skellige Druids. The disciples of the Isle's local pantheon are not the sole spiritual devotees in Skellige, for some druids also call the archipelago home. Yet this is no cause for conflict, for Freya's adherents and the Druid Circle coexist and treat each other with great respect. What wields these two faiths together? a common worship of the divinity found in the earth, fertility, love, and of birth. To the Druids, men form a part of nature and should treat the world around them with the utmost respect. They hold that since nature gave life, her most precious gift, to humans and other civilized races, they should live in harmony with her, yielding their will to hers. Druids are seen as wise men and priests and are held in high esteem by society. They act as spiritual guides, herbalists, and alchemists. Skelligers seek their counsel in times of trouble, summon them when ill, and ask them to settle thorny conflicts. Like their continental brethren, the Druids of Skellige have a circle, an area set aside in their holy grove where they assemble, meditate, and study sacred tomes. When Druids are capable of many Druids are capable of wielding magic. It's a weird kind of fragment at the end there, but okay. So we know quite a few. We know Ermion. He's a Druid. He is actually the head of the Druid Circle in Skellige. Or, at the very least, on Ard Skellig. Yeah. I'll loot that at the end. I may as well pick up this other stuff. Also, careful. I'm sorry that this is probably really, really dark. It's incredibly dark for me, so I imagine for you guys it's essentially pitch. But we'll see. Dasbog Rune. Edel Hertz Farewell Note. Edbert? Edbert? I guess that'd be pronounced Edbert. I've naught left, not a bloomin' thing. All I can do now is pass on my family's tale of horror and woe, then pass on myself soon as I've written it up in this letter. Seems a faded dream now, but there were a time when we were happy. My wife, Onesta, and myself. We were married in high style with a fitting feast. Then a year later, our dear Mildburger, I assume, was born. Folk praised the Ween's beauty. Ween, I've only ever heard that Scottish. Praise the Ween's beauty. Said she were a spitting image of her mum. Onesta would get all cross when they talked like that, but I paid it no heed at the time. Soon enough our family grew. First Matilda, then Ethel, came into our world, both fair as angels, but Onesta, well, I'll never forget that eve she sat there, combing her long chestnut hair while the girls cried. I said to her, love, I reckon the lasses are hungry. That's when she lashed out at me for the first time, said there'd be no right to be hungry, they'd stolen her beauty and her youth, that should be more than enough to feed on. I should have known it then, I should have guessed madness had burrowed into my love's head, and every compliment paid to her lass's beauty made it burrow even deeper. Year by year the young'uns grew taller and more lovely, but time's not so kind to the old, and Onesta weren't spared its cruelty, which took her spring and its sheen of youth. One night, I was awoken by the startling moon which lit all the world in an eerie glow. I looked around the hut, and saw it was empty. I ran out the door and followed a set of bare footprints leading to the cemetery by the chapel. Seeing that, my heart jumped up into my throat. I found them, all three, lying around the fountain. Were I not been their father, I'd have never have recognized them. Deep gashes mutilated their fair faces, strips of skin and hunks of flesh were strewn all about. As I stood beholding this butchery, I felt the feeling someone was watching me, and I weren't mistaken. Onesta stood there in the stool by a lone tree. She had a rope draped around her neck like some demonic necklace. They took it from me, all of it. All I had, all I cherished, she said. Then she jumped. She's dead, my Onesta, my 3 daughters, dead as well. I'll soon join them. I've taken all I have and give it to the gods. Perhaps I'll forgive me and my beloved Onesta. It's horribly sad. And also, definitely the kind of thing that could result in a curse. Either by her daughters onto her, or by her onto her daughters. It's a damn shame. So those 3 wraiths out the front, obviously his daughters, and the wraith down the bottom was his wife. Cruel world. But we've now cleansed that, so that's something. Unfortunately we don't get paid for it, because no one really cares, but... also, another quest we have is to go... Yes, investigate the Fallen Knights lab northwest of Brunwich, which I believe should be up here. I think what I'm going to do is come here, then run directly across, and then run up there, just so I can clear out these kind of 3 at the top, as far as question marks. Because I kind of want to just clear all the question marks out at some point, so we may as well do it while we're going. I also believe this is a Fallen Knight camp, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. It has been a while. Also, I think there's from memory, there's like a bear up this road. Which is why I've pulled my sword out. Then again, some of the wildlife may actually be semi-random. There's kind of a path leading up here, which I'm following along the map.
Perfect weather for a voyage.
Nope, I went the wrong way. I went seriously the wrong way. They're all the way over here. Yep, that's where I was going. It's fine. Hello. I don't have to worry about arrows anymore, which is nice. These guys very well may one-shot me still, which is why I'm... What is this guy doing? He was running at me with a crossbow. That's an odd choice, but okay.
Pathetic.
Annoying that that still takes my Quen, even though I'm technically deflecting them. Yeah, my armor is, like, significantly better at this point. Which is weird, because... Like... I haven't actually gone up a whole lot in armor. Like, my armor strength isn't that much better. Also, I died. My armor strength isn't actually that much better, which makes me wonder why. We'll see.
You'll never learn. Pathetic.
Peter's log. Cool. Cool, we cleared that camp out. Order of the Flaming Rose Sword, and Svarog Runestone. That's cool, I guess. Couple more things to loot up here, but nothing major. So that wasn't anything major. I probably either sped it up or just cut it out. I died a few times to it, which is kind of annoying, but you know, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna do a quick save there. And then we're gonna go investigate the Fallen Knights camp. What are you? Wolves. I'm not particularly worried about wolves unless they attack me. I mean, I kind of feel bad about killing a pack of wolves that are literally out in the wilderness. They're not even, like, near a town. Like, they're just literally out in the straight-up wilderness. I'd feel bad about killing them, so I'm not going to. This quest that I'm heading to now, by the way, this is a follow-up of when we were in Bowden. At the Garen estate, we were told by a girl that her lover was up in Bowden and he was cooking Vistek. We found out that the Order of the Flame Rose had killed this guy and taken over his Vistek operation, and this is their base that we got off a note. We got the note of a guy from this camp here, for those wondering. I just thought I'd point that out because I'm kind of heading towards it without really explaining it. And I think it was 2 episodes ago that I actually started the quest, so it could be a bit confusing. Hello. What's up? I don't want to be that threatening to them.
What's this? Order of the Flaming Rose have a new seat? Not too shabby.
You listen, vagrant. Dunno why you're here, but take my advice. Go back to wherever you came from.
So, why are you still standing there? I need to smash your painting?
Don't like your tone, brother.
I'd say. I thought I was being polite. But if courtesy don't work, we'll try something else.
If you insist.
Damn, you're ugly.
He's casted spells! Blood for blood, brothers!
That was close.
Shall be over soon.
Might be. Fancy. Oh, I didn't loot him. Interesting. Oh, he had the key. I think that's why. I think it doesn't auto-loot. Well, it doesn't necessarily auto-loot people that have like essential items. Hello. Are you going to immediately attack me? I don't think so. You didn't hear what happened outside, right? Oh, you didn't. Hello. You're standing through the ground.
Bloody hell! Who the devil are you?
I'm a Witcher, or as your brethren prefer to call me, a mutant, a freak.
You shouldn't be in here.
And Knights of the Flaming Rose shouldn't be murdering humans or producing drugs.
True. We shouldn't. We're supposed to defend the downtrodden, spread faith in the eternal fire. But Radovid tricked us. He broke his oath, sent our brethren to the front as common grunts, and once the mighty order was bled dry, he disbanded us. Took our lands, confiscated our domains to finance his war. The brethren who didn't object were appointed mage hunters. Those who took umbrage dared to stand up to him. They were imprisoned or exiled. We're but a handful who still wear the colours. And we must find a new place in this world.
That's interesting and also incredibly good strategy by Radovid. You have an order of knights who... they have a code. So if you want them under your control, throwing them... that you can use them as fairly patriotic soldiers. and then that culls their ranks, and then those remaining, you take the ones that are loyal to you, and you turn them into a new organization, i.e. the Witch Hunters, and those who aren't, you just kill or exile. It's a good idea.
So you turned rogue? That your idea? Wonder what Siegfried of Denel would say.
Siegfried of Denel would... But how do you even... I know you. You're Geralt of Rivia, Jacques de Aldersberg's killer.
Whoops.
None other. And if I had to go back, I'd do it again.
Yeah, probably.
That was the start of our downfall. You were the beginning. Accursed mutant, draw your blade!
No need to yell. Just ask, politely.
So that's all first game references. Whew.
Witness me, brothers!
A useful tactic here. Golden Aureole makes me immune to poison. In fact, it makes poison heal me. And look at this. Unfortunately, these guys, although not immune to poison, actually it's doing a fair amount of damage.
You shall die! Die!
I'm literally just like walking them through the poison in the hope that they continuously get poisoned. It seems to be working fairly well, to be perfectly honest. It's doing like fairly significant damage. It's like 2.5 per. There's one down. I could be attacking them while this is going on, but, you know. There's Ulrich dead. Sweet! Just you left, brother. Oh, I remember this being a problem. Actually getting out of here? There we go. Oh, there's another one over here. Hello. Hello! I'll go through the relevant lore of all of this, with talking about, like, Jacques de Alderberg and, Siegfried. Siegfried? My Golden Aureole is still working, that's nice. There's apparently something else to loot here, but I can't see it. I guess it's under the ground? I'm just gonna mash E a bit and hope that it works. Apparently not. Oh well. On the plus side, there's a lot of good stuff to loot in here. I'm not sure whether I'll make you watch me loot everything, but I guess I can do it while I'm explaining. So, Jacques de Alderberg was essentially, and spoilers for The Witcher 1, if you have not played The Witcher 1, or if you care about the story of The Witcher 1 and don't want it spoiled, I'll put a timestamp where you can skip all of this explanation. But the Knights of the Flaming Rose were actually auto-created by Jacques de Alderberg, who was eventually the big bad of The Witcher 1. And going through and actually playing through The Witcher 1, you find out that... hard to explain, but Jacques de Alderberg was essentially Elven, who was a young child that you actually saved at the start of The Witcher 1, and he was an incredibly powerful source, so he was an incredibly powerful mage. And he, similar to Ciri, it's implied that he has Elder Blood, because he can travel through time and space, similar to the way Ciri does. So the implication is that he traveled through time, back into the past, and grew up the old-fashioned way and became Jacques de Elderberg, and you find that out right at the end. It's also worth noting that depending on how you treat Alvin in the start of the game, Jacques de Elderberg will actually have different dialogue when you fight him near the end, which is pretty much the best indication they have that they are indeed the same person. But we end up killing the leader of the Order of the Flaming Rose, like the leader of their entire order, which is why he hated us so much. Siegfried was actually a knight from the Flaming Order, and essentially was Geralt's friend, for want of a better term. They helped each other out quite a bit, depending on how much you play through and what choices you make in The Witcher 1. But he was, for the most part, a good man. If somewhat pious, because, you know, knight. They're all a bit like that. But that is essentially the backstory that they're talking about there, which is why I like this so much, because it actually links back to The Witcher 1 quite nicely, and I really like that sort of, that aspect of it, where it links back to a kind of original... how would you put it? An original game source, rather than giving a reference to a book source. Which is rarer, but I enjoy it. And that'll be the end of the explanation, so I'll put the timestamp here for me editing. That'll be nice later. Right here! So when I come back, you can just cut this out if you don't like it. If you don't want spoilers, rather. Alright, so we're going to clear out this last little camp up here. I believe it's a village that's overrun by knights, from memory. Yeah... is this the one I'm thinking it is? I think so. I'm stuck in a tree. Ugh. No, this is just a little camp. There is, I believe, a village that they overtake somewhere.
Faster for fuck's sake!
Faster for fuck's sake! I'll speed all this up. And if I die, I'll just put in me actually completing it rather than death montaging it, because... honestly, at this stage, I've died so much in this playthrough, it doesn't really matter how many times I die from here. It's not like it's going for like a no-death run or anything. Oops.
How do you wish to die?
That's close. I could read that previous note. I'm reading now, I suppose.
Not good.
Life gated. Cool. So I got a note from that. I don't know whether or not you saw that. Probably. I'm slowly getting the entirety of the Order of the Flaming Rose gear, which is nice. The Slaughter of Sintra. This is interesting. Particularly, I'm sure at this point there is a lot of people who have watched the Witcher Netflix series, so this is interesting. Specifically because of episode 1 of that series. The cavalcade of riders pounded across the blood-soaked courtyard. They looked at no one and asked no questions. They knew exactly what they were going and why, where they were going and why. To kill the old queen and capture the Cintran princess. As to what would become of her after that, no one would say. Calanthe and a group of her most loyal subjects had barricaded themselves inside the castle. They were protected by stone walls and a gate sealed by a spell. But they all realized neither would last long enough. long against a concentrated assault by the Nilfgaardian army and the mages supporting it. After 4 days, enemy soldiers forced their way inside. Yeah. Peter's log. This was from the previous camp we went to. I just forgot to read it because we got it like halfway through the fight. That makes 3 days we've been stationed here in Dead White Wood. It is a gravely important mission, that's what the commander told us. We only send the best of the Dead White Wood. Those were his words. I'm damn proud. Strange enough, there ain't many trees around here and not a corpse to be seen. Maybe the master's information was out of date when the peasants were have felled the whole wood. Thomas says he says it's because we went the wrong way, but he can't read or write, so I'm not about to trust him. I'm going out to scout around a bit myself after dinner today. I want to drop a map of these lands, because the commander didn't give us one. When I get back on the main headquarters, I'll write up everything all nice and proper. Peter Nahier. So these were apparently the useless soldiers. We found a note by a commander saying, we're going to take all our useless soldiers and send them to the Dead White Wood, because they're like, these were the guys who were so bad that they actually attacked their own men during the battle. But he sent them to the Dead White Wood, and they went the wrong way, and ended up somewhere else completely, which is just speaks to how useless they are. I love that. That's a joke that not many people are going to notice, because one, a lot of people don't read all this stuff, and two, like, it's so disjointed, you may never find this group of bandits. It's kind of funny. And Flaming Rose scanner report. This was from these guys here at this camp. 2 skint asswipes from the nearby village drove a cow by. We'd not mind a bit of beef, but these hayseeds were too pathetic to rob. Poor as dirt and stinking to the sky, so we let them go. Seed cart doing the Brumwitz Oxenfurt route. Not worth it. Dull, dull, dull. Roads empty. Caught sight of a military transport in the distance. Heavily guarded, carrying barrels in their wagons. Wine, most like, or herring. Weapons. Now that would have been worth a try. Lads got bored silly by evening, so they went cavorting with the 2 wenches came to hunt mushrooms in the woods. After they'd had their fun, I forced them to let the lasses go. Here's hoping they come back quick with some menfolk from their village, give us some entertainment. Interesting. I was about to say they're not too bad, they let people go because they were too poor. But they did rape women. So, they're still kind of assholes who deserve to die. I was going to say, you read the first part and you're like, well, I'm kind of sad I killed them now, and then you read the next part. No, they're rapists, I'm okay with killing them. In any case, I think... I don't want this to go on too much longer, but we have one more quest to do. One more side quest to do. But I think I'm pushing every wrong button. I think we're gonna leave that till next time. Without a trace, we're gonna talk to the herbalist. Apparently his apprentice has gone missing. And he can be found further south, I believe. Yeah, way further south, down here. Yeah. I mean, I can talk to him to start it. It's probably a good idea. We'll do it next time. So next time we will actually go and we'll start this quest. But that's going to be it for this episode. So if you like the video, please leave a like. If you're not subscribed already, please consider subscribing. And as always, thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time. This game is so pretty. Every time I get, like, I sort of catch myself just looking at everything in the game, and it's just... it's fantastically beautiful. It's well ahead of its time. Anyway, see you next time, guys.